these comic issues ran from 2001 to 2009. And just to get you to know why I'm using this suit, I'm not really a big fan, but like there's no Ultimate Spider-Man suit. I mean, I guess you could say the classic suit. But I'm not really a fan of the classic suit. I mean, like, it's so bright. Like, it's not how it should be. And so this is the wrestling suit he used in this story. So I'm gonna be using this. Okay, so we're gonna start off the story. You already know Peter Parker's origin, blah blah blah, this and that. So he learns he has spider sense from one way that, or the big way, because he was getting into some fights in school, and he was able to sense when someone was gonna punch him. Yeah. Okay, so one of Norman Osborn, Green Goblin's hitmen, was assigned to kill Peter Parker because he was supposed to be dying. And before that, they also went to Oscorp, and Peter said he didn't feel any of the symptoms, which would possibly cause potential death. So yeah, it's all good. Okay, so he is about to get run over, and then he backflips over the car, and then instead of going to school, he goes back home, which he ends up staying in his lab, which he actually has, which is pretty cool. And Aunt May and Uncle Ben get mad. So he said to them, school isn't the, let me see, okay, so he said, I didn't feel like going to school today, alright? Didn't feel like going, which is what Aunt May says, and Aunt May also says, he didn't feel like going. Peter says, school isn't the party you think it is, alright? Okay, so Peter kind of gets mad a tiny bit, and then Uncle Ben's like, are you feeling alright, son? Peter yells, I'm fine. And then he basically stays up all night, and he wakes up at 4 in the morning, discovers his powers, walks, and yeah. And, oh crap, he actually breaks one of the desks in his school because someone tried tripping him, and yeah, or like kind of, yeah. I think he just pushes it out. I don't know what you say. I mean, it just shows like smacked his head open, and I'm not open. Just smacked it. He like went kind of lied down, I guess you could say, like very fast. And the desk breaks, and in the comic you can actually see him kind of designing a suit. So it shows a mask with the mouth part cut open. Yeah, so it has the mask part open and spider emblem. And since everyone can't take him as a joke, it's not really. Everyone thinks he's a freak, but since he beat up Flash Thompson one day, it's more or less everyone else besides, I mean, everyone thinks he's a joke, so it doesn't really help his case. And he gets a muscle in his arm when he goes to the bathroom. So Flash Thompson's talking to Mary Jane, and Peter doesn't like it because, you know, Flash Thompson's a bully with a very bad bowl cut. And I mean, he looks like a junior Otto Octavius in this series. So he basically gets mad, and then shoves, I guess. I mean, he was like a couple feet away, I guess, like maybe 10, 15, and he throws the ball and hits Flash Thompson square in the face. And I mean, somehow he's not really that hurt because he falls, then he gets up, and he's only saying, ow. So they threaten to fight again, and then that's where the scene comes in. So after school, Flash is trying to beat Peter, but his spider sense makes him. So like Peter's not really fighting at all, I guess. I mean, he's just dodging. And then Flash sends one more punch, which Peter just catches with his hand. And then it breaks Flash's hand. So I mean, it kind of seems like Peter's indestructible, sort of. I mean, I don't know what you get out of it, get from that. I mean, is he indestructible, or does super strength kind of like help him stay extra strong? Yeah, it's probably because of his super strength, because if he didn't have like some sort of protection, I guess, with the power, it could hurt him. So basically, that punch breaks his hand. And so then there's a call, and for some reason Uncle Ben has a ponytail. I don't know why he has a ponytail, but he does. So $2,500 hospital bill, and then they're going to sue them if they don't pay, and you know. So Aunt May says, Peter, this is not the way you were raised. This is not how human beings behave. And then he's like, what are you talking about? I was defending. And May says, I just don't understand. You broke his hand. And Peter has a little fit. What am I supposed to do? I'm so sick of being picked on all the time. For once I defend myself, and what do I get from you? I get a lecture. And then, Peter, that's not what we taught you. Yeah, I know what you taught me. You taught me to be a wimpy loser like you do. And, yeah. So, Peter experiments with his powers, kind of like in The Amazing Spider-Man. I mean, the Raimi trilogy can't really be affected by this because it was basically around the same time the Raimi trilogy came out. This came out, so you couldn't really kind of edit it to it. So basically, Peter goes to a warehouse in a black spandex suit and kind of tests out his powers, like his super strength, and Peter apologizes, but it doesn't really mean anything now because it kind of happens a couple times. So then they try to take Osborn tries to take his blood, or Peter's blood, and then by inviting him to a private tour, but that actually somehow works. I don't know how, but it does. And then, let me see where I am. Yeah, let's take his blood, check it. So he actually should be dying, but he's not, because he's all cool. So going on, they start talking about him, and Osborn wants to put his spider DNA in himself. Peter's spider DNA in Osborn. So then, this is where this suit comes in. I mean, you can't really see it that good, but yeah, that's where this suit comes in, the wrestler suit. So they go to, I think the school goes to a wrestling match. I don't know what you say. So they go to a wrestling match, and it's like, instead of, I think maybe, was it 500 or, I think 500 in the rainy. So this is kind of where it goes in the rainy kind of way. So there's a wrestling match, and it's Crusher Hogan, which is actually in this game. So that's pretty cool. And then since you have to be 21 and older, I don't know what's his name, this big guy. He's called Kong. Maybe that's his name, I doubt it. But yeah, it's Kong. So Kong wants to go in, doesn't happen because he's too under limit. I need to get to the relevant stuff, yeah. So Flash is like, Parker, go get him. And then, so Peter says, you know what, Flash, how about you hop in the ring, and then when you lose, your family can sue his family. And then there's another thing. So then Peter makes this suit. Jeans, sneakers, maybe shoes, and then this mask. This blue and red mask. So he anonymously goes, somehow it's in the same time period. It's kind of hard to understand how he did that. Yeah, it was the same time period, so he hops into the ring with the suit, which from orange it turns red, which is weird. So he goes in with the mask. He beats Crusher Hogan with a slam by slamming him on the ground. And then since it was $500 cash, he gets the cash. And then there's a letter on the door, and so then Uncle Ben. So the letter says, so the school faculty took up a collection on behalf of Peter. Peter is a fantastic student, and we all felt that the incident with Flash Thompson was unfair. We have decided to remain anonymous due to school politics. We hope you will honor our request in this area. We will hope to have more for you as soon as many faculty have pledged a donation but have not yet paid. Best wishes. Yeah, so Coach, since Flash couldn't play and he was on the basketball team, another another Amazing Spider-Man reference. So another thing, so since they're one member short, and you know Flash's hand was broken and won't heal till the end of the season, so Peter says yes to joining, and he does, and nobody thinks it's suspicious that a nobody somehow gets the whole team up to 114 points, with the visitor only having 26. That's definitely not weird. And then since he had to go to another wrestling match so he could get money, but Mary Jane didn't know that because, you know, powers, and that would be kind of weird. Maybe not weird, but different. And so Peter never told her. Okay, so going on, he has to do that, and she wants to study geometry with him. And yeah, so he keeps on getting some money, and then so the person's actually not supposed to be, the person who's giving him the money is not supposed to be. He should have been knocked down. That's so weird. Yeah, anonymously, because then it's like could be anyone. But then Peter's not allowed to tell, and also it would be pointless if he does because he needs the money, and he's kind of rightfully getting it, so I kind of agree with him. So yeah, he gets the money, and then so they try the experiment. So probably at the same time, Oscorp tries the experiment on Norman Osborn. Okay, yeah, so after that, there's like crazy stuff happens basically at Oscorp, and like everyone could possibly be dead, but Norman's nowhere to be seen. And you can expect this is where Green Goblin comes in, because this is where he does alarm right now. So then Peter actually gets this wrestling suit, which leads to the classic suit. But it's just like plain red and blue. There's like no symbol on it or anything, because you know he has to add that himself. So yeah, he beats him a couple times, and actually no, not wait, yeah, maybe yeah. But so Peter goes in, and first he asks for the cash because he didn't get it that time, because he just finished the match. We'll finish this guy. And he's believed to have stolen the money that was there. And then he runs out. No, my combo. Okay, so he left and he changes, so he's just walking home, I guess. And then that's where the robbery happens. So someone robs a deli, and for some reason he just doesn't try to stop him, even though he could have just tripped him. I'm still trying to understand him. I mean, some parts of the story make sense, but that just didn't. Neither did that move that just happened. So, yeah, he doesn't trip the guy, and he ends up running to the apartment. Wait, no. Sorry. So Peter gets the report card, actually, and he somehow got from A's to D. That's cool. I guess I don't know how to respond. So yeah. Yeah. And then he said he's got different priorities. And then he storms the house. He climbs a building. Okay. And then he actually goes to someone else's, Kong's, I guess you could say, apartment. Surprisingly, he lives alone. I mean, I don't know how old he is. Actually, no, I believe that his parents aren't home. Oh, no. Yeah, maybe. I honestly don't care about this level. I kind of do, but like, whatever. So, he ends up actually having a party, and then I think, like, I don't know, Liz is there, and then she hugs Peter, and then Mary Jane sees, and then she storms out, and then Uncle Ben comes. He somehow knew exactly where to find Peter, so he did. I mean, he did, obviously. And then so Uncle Ben gets mad, and so then Uncle Ben says, with great power comes great responsibility, which is what Peter's father valued. Then Peter runs, and he's like, I don't know, whatever you want to say, is he? And then you kind of see the look of Goblin. It's very dark. He kind of looks like a demon from probably Dungeons and Dragons or something. I don't know what you want to say. Yeah. And Peter's in the rain. So then he actually comes back to his house, which turns out that there's police there. And so you figure out why. I don't know if I already said it, but yeah, so Peter Peter's uncle was killed. And you see that Harry's whole house burned down because the goblin, who can actually throw fireballs, which I'm wondering how he got. I don't know. I mean, yeah, so. And then they stay at, I think, Mary Jane's house. Yeah, Mary Jane's house. That's okay. And so the killer is actually on the loose, and the killer's also the person who has killed his uncle and who Peter didn't want to trip at the store. So Peter goes and gets him, and then he throws a tire at him, beats him up a bit, and then ties him up, puts him outside. Checks his ID. So yeah. And since Peter didn't understand with great power comes great responsibility, he now understands because he's been solving crimes. And then, so he goes to Mary Jane cries something. And then you're introduced to J. Jonah Jameson, one of the most probably loved characters, I guess you could say. I mean, people actually like him, like, such as Matt Pat, if you know him. Yeah. So he wants to get like parts with him, and his father it's just revealed his father had an experiment. And since, you know, in this Ultimate Spider-Man universe and Amazing, Peter has to make his web shooters. He has to make web shooters because he doesn't have the webbing out of his hands. Whoa, that's weird. That zoom in is weird. So, yeah, he makes the webbing, and he's sleeping in class and breaks another desk, like the other one. He reveals that he decided to leave the basketball team. Everyone's mad at him. And then here comes Green Goblin. Yeah, so Peter gets into a fight with him somehow. Green Goblin knows who he is because Norman knows that the powers came from Spider. Because, you know, yeah, he learned. And this is also kind of similar to, let me show you the Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse suit. Yeah, it's pretty, you couldn't see it. Like, it was just a black character, like all unknown suits so far, like before you unlock them. And, yeah, it's kind of like that. He gets into a fight, and Peter's wondering how he knows the name. Cops get in, they try shooting him, fail, and then the goblin jumps into the water, or no, I think Peter kicks him into the water or something. Let me check. Yeah, he jumps off into the water, and then Peter goes into school, back to school, says that he was under some rubble, and Harry reveals, what is that? It's so weird. Reveals that that's his father. So yeah, my opinion, so I don't know if I said it, but I have a rubric system for this, and let me see this. So how does Spider-Man change Peter's life? So I'm going to change that to how do his powers change his life at that time period. So it kind of, those powers basically caused everything to happen, obviously, but it did kind of help him, but it was kind of ruining him, such as his relationships with his family. So yeah, it depends what areas. It did help him in some ways, obviously, because he knows what with great power comes great responsibility means. But I don't think it was worth his uncle. But you know, as all Spider-Man stories go, his uncle has to die. So at least, I mean, I don't know how to say it. In my opinion, the story was really good. And wait, sorry. Okay, and so from the how does Spider-Man affect Peter's life or his powers, it does cause him to kind of change in a negative way because you know he had he got into kind of fights with his family a couple times, so that's a big downside. But he does have these awesome powers, right? Yeah, and it his relations get affected negatively, such as his relationship with Mary Jane and his family. And the villains, because I mean, we already know, but it's Green Goblin. Or, I mean, I guess you call him Green Goblin right now. His name, he really didn't have a name yet. And the art style. So there was this, just as a reason, the Marvel's art style is very humanoid, obviously, but sometimes it has changed before. I mean, in one comic issue, it has so far for what I've read. But this is very humanoid. I like it, especially his suit. I think that his suit should be the eyes, such as how. I mean, when you look at it, this suit doesn't really look good on like a like a mid-20s guy. Something like this looks better if it had darker color, but yeah, as you can see, like most of these suits, like this suit, good for an older Peter Parker. What I mean is that some suits with big eyes are good to represent. So smaller eyes, since they're more mechanical, you don't need them to be as big, but the reason for mechanical eyes is because Peter has a lot of more resources. And without those resources, you know, he has to have big eyes. So yeah, they really don't use expressions that much. I mean, because, you know, thought bubbles, so yeah. And the, and, you know, I mean, art style, very humanoid, like I said. But I just want to mention that there was this one Venom issue. No, maybe not Venom. I don't know. They're all like Spider-Man Venom. It was an Amazing Spider-Man title, but it was a very weird art style. So if you know the people in this game, how they're like kind of weirdly blocky. Yeah, they're very weird and kind of blocky. So it's kind of how that comic was drawn, which it was just weird. But, oh yeah, and how it compares to movies. So, I like this origin story because it shows that how, like, you know, people say teens get into changes and have, like, I don't know, teen drama, I guess you could call it. So it shows that in a very good, but not like overreacting way, like how it's kind of like Peter has a lot going on, so he changed because of what he had going on. Before it wasn't just, now it's not just bullying, it's like he has these powers and he wants to help Aunt May and Uncle Ben, but it's kind of hard to do that when now he has. Okay, yeah. This is a part 2 to my Ultimate Spider-Man Vol.1 review. which can be treated as a podcast, like I said in the first one. So yeah. So like I was saying, now Peter has a villain, so he's gonna have to show like how it's gonna be showing how he manages, since at the beginning of the issue, well, as soon as he got his powers, the only thing he was really doing was just trying to get money with them, because he could wrestle anonymously, or maybe not could, but he did wrestle anonymously. And then, you know, he wasn't really I wouldn't say he was selfish, because he was trying to help his aunt and uncle, but he didn't even want to just trip someone over to get the store owner's money back, which was strange. Yeah, so, and compared to the movies, I like this origin story because, but the thing is that an origin story like this wouldn't really work, because the movies besides Tom Holland's, which are in the main Marvel universe, you know, since they're not going to do an origin story, because I don't want an origin story, and no one else wants one. So the fans don't want one, so why would they? Yeah, but this would work in Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but I feel like he seems a bit more mature than that, but because, I mean, he has learned the great power and great responsibility, and has matured, or should have matured a bit. But in if you have a person playing him who's very young and looks 15, I mean, I'm not saying Tom Holland doesn't look 15. I mean, he looks like an age, like a year or two older. So it could work, but if someone looks like exactly 15 or is exactly 15, I feel like it would work better. Even though I know Tom Holland's Spider-Man's younger than all the other Spider-Men. And I think that change was for the best. One in Tom Holland's Spider-Man, because we've already had, this is his third incarnation of main movies, so in like Spider-Man's in the main movies, like, I don't know what you call them. I'm just gonna say main movies. Yeah. So, like I said, it wouldn't work in the movies because this is like, you have to be it has to be a teen teen-looking Spider-Man for it to work, since there's a lot of like what people say teens go through. So yeah, that's gonna be all for my Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 1 review. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'm gonna try, if this gets like even a couple likes, I'll do more, because I really want to, and I'm willing to actually make good videos on my channel. So yeah, make sure to hit this with a like. Chomp that, yeah, just hit this with a like and a comment. Maybe like some light criticism. Don't just say it's horrible, because that kind of doesn't help in my case at all. Yeah, so I'm just gonna finish this. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna finish this level, and I forgot to say that out of 10, which I'm gonna be scoring it, it's my opinion, obviously, but I rate it a 9.5 out of 10, because Peter could have been a bit less selfish in that point, and they could have made it be someone else or like a brother to that person, to the main, or to the store robber, because Peter should have been more thoughtful. And if Peter did actually be helpful, it showed that Peter had, like what he said, that he had a heart of gold, because he said that since he could have possibly beat up the wrestlers, like since they were trying to capture him, but he didn't. So it would show more of his kindness or goodness in him. So yeah, I hope, like I said, like, subscribe, comment on some, like, criticize me a bit, like tell me what I should do and shouldn't do. I hope this kind of comic reading format is good, so then you all wouldn't have to kind of read the comics on your own. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed, and this is Gamer Shark 14. Shark Plays, signing off.